Good evening, my dear friends, and a very, very warm welcome to this Sunday transformational class. This is a wonderful opportunity, a platform which we all share with the blessings of our beloved masters, Dr. Newton and Dr. Lakshmi. We look forward to this every week as so much wisdom is imparted and shared on this beautiful platform, which allows us the space to grow. So today we are gathered here once again, and I would like to thank QLU for giving me this beautiful opportunity to connect with you all. And for today's topic, we have wholehearted living, empowering yourself with wholeheartedness. This year has been a very, very eventful year for the whole globe. And now we are drawing to a close. The year is drawing to a close. Very soon we will be entering a fresh new year. And what are the takeaways? What do we want to enter the year with, the new year with? What can we learn from what we have gone through and are continuing to go through in this year? These were some of the thoughts that crossed my mind in the past few days. And I zeroed in on this topic because I feel that when we are readying ourselves to step into a new year, a new chapter, wholehearted living would be the best gift to take along with us. For today's topic, dear friends, I have drawn extensively upon the work of Brené Brown. She is a renowned research professor, author, and motivational speaker who has spent years studying courage, vulnerability, shame, and empathy. And her several years of research resulted in her drawing certain conclusions about living life wholeheartedly. And she coined this term, wholehearted living, as a result of the research that she did in many, many areas, drawing upon her own life experience and the life experiences of the people that she knew and the people that she researched. So today we are going to delve into this topic. It is a beautiful topic, and for the next hour and a half, I would like to share with you my views and what I have learned from Brené's work on this topic. Each of us comes into this world as a beautiful, unique expression of pure source consciousness. We are all here as unique sparks. Each of us has a unique energy signature, and nothing can take this away from us. There is none like us here. At this moment in time, each one of us is a unique expression of the divine, living our lives here. And therefore, wholehearted living has great meaning for us if we are looking to live life with purpose. So, what happens? What is it that takes things away, takes us away from this path? What is it that derails us? When we are unique, when we are unique expressions, and we know deep inside that we are that, we are pure consciousness. We are not this limited self that we perceive ourselves to be. What is it that stops us from living life wholeheartedly? When we say the word wholehearted, there is another word that crops up, half hearted. We often use this expression in our lives too. We make half hearted attempts at doing something. We do not put ourselves wholeheartedly into something because we hold something back. We say, oh, I made a half hearted attempt at the job, or he made a half hearted attempt at this relationship. These are very common terms. But do we really pause and reflect about these two terms? If we do, then we will realize that most of the time we are not living wholeheartedly. At best, we are making half hearted attempts. It is not that we don't desire to live wholeheartedly, it is just that in this chaotic world, in this rat race, we sometimes forget. So we have to stop, we have to pause, and we have to reflect. Once in a while, we have to hit the pause button. That is what we are doing now. In this session today, let us hit the pause button and stop and reflect about wholehearted living. We each have unique life experiences, unique desires, unique needs, and we come with unique gifts. But when we come into the world, the society and the people around us seem bent upon molding us. They do not look at us as the unique gifts that we are. No one to blame for this. They look at us as if we need to be molded into something which they think is best for us and for them also. So, what happens in that event? We are seen as some kind of a raw material that needs to be molded all the time. So, we are always, right from our childhood, looking at fitting in, trying to be what maybe we really are not. That is what happens. And in the process, all that we do becomes half hearted. We then become very vulnerable because we are always trying to be what we are truly not feeling within us. We become vulnerable to anything that will meet with disapproval. We put forward only the things that we feel will meet with approval from what is around us. So, a lot of us, the real us, is hidden away somewhere deep and it remains there, fearing to be exposed. There is fear of judgment, there is fear of rejection, and therefore we keep it all hidden. And in the process, what do we do? In this process of half hearted living, we don't reflect what we truly are. We create fake personalities. We do not live an authentic life. And therefore, we are not happy and it becomes a vicious cycle. We are caught in an unending loop where we are trying to please ourselves, please those around us, and we get trapped. And we spend an entire lifetime feeling trapped and unable to find ways of coming out of this entrapment. So, today I would like to share with you a small PPT where I have put in the guideposts which Brenny talks about, some quotes about wholehearted living on which you can reflect, and we will go through this each of the guideposts and also some practical tips on how we can actually practice wholehearted living. Wholeheartedness is day to day practice. You must give yourself to it completely and wholeheartedly. So, we will start. Yes. I will just read out some of my personal favorites, and you can just spend a few moments reflecting on these quotes. We were not sent into this world to do anything into which we cannot put our hearts. You would have experienced that when you are doing something that you truly love, when you are doing something that you're passionate about, then the term that you use is, oh, I put my heart and my soul into this work. This is what wholeheartedness is all about. The antidote to exhaustion may not be rest. We usually use these two terms. Oh, I'm exhausted, I need rest. But look at this view. David Bass says the antidote to exhaustion may not be rest, it may just be wholeheartedness. You are so exhausted because all the things that you are doing are just keeping yourself busy, busyness. But there is a central core of wholeheartedness which is totally missing from what you are doing. This is very, very important. Let us reflect on this. We are running around whole day trying to achieve something. We run from pillar to post, thinking that we are keeping ourselves busy in achieving our goals, so called goals that we set for ourselves. We jump from one to the other, and we do not even have time to pause and to see where we are headed. And sometimes this entire exercise of running behind and trying to live our lives the way we think we need to live it exhausts us. So then, what is the antidote? It is not just rest, it is wholeheartedness. Brené Brown says wholehearted living is about engaging in our lives from a place of worthiness. Self worth is extremely important if you have to lead a life of wholeheartedness. You have to respond to life wholeheartedly. It is extremely important at the end of the day because life is a flow and you have to teach yourself to flow along with it, to align yourself to the pure consciousness that you are, the uniqueness that you are. And you have to bring your unique flavor to life. And sad, isn't it, that we spend entire lifetimes trying to hide this unique flavor and be what others want us to be, what the world desires us to be. So, what we call goals may be completely misplaced. The most comprehensive formulation of therapeutic goals is the striving for wholeheartedness. The striving itself is very therapeutic. It is therapy. Wholeheartedness is a whole therapy by itself. To be without pretense, to be emotionally sincere, to be able to put the whole of oneself into one's feelings, one's work, and one's beliefs. Isn't it important if you were to stop now and think of a time when you truly lost yourself in your work? You will be able to feel that sincerity, that emotion in your entire being. Your body will respond to it. It will respond with love. It will respond with genuine beauty because that is a moment when you were truly wholehearted. And that is how every day, every minute of yours should be. Now, let us look at what wholehearted people really have. What is it that they have that makes them wholehearted? They have a healthy sense of self worth and self esteem. This is at the top of the ladder. This is most important. Although it may be difficult to believe, most of us live through an entire life with extremely low self worth, low self esteem, and the feeling that I am not enough. We need to turn that around and say, I am enough. At the end of the day, we need to hit the pillow saying, whatever happened today or did not happen today, whatever I accomplished or could not accomplish, I am enough. It is important. Because right from the day we are born, society works very hard. Maybe not intentionally, but family, the people around us, society, workplace, they work very hard to bring us down, to make dents in our self esteem. And so it is up to us to build it and to stay with it. The other thing is authenticity, the courage to be yourself. Wholehearted people, these points are the result of Brenny's research, years of research that she did. She worked with vulnerability, she worked with shame, she worked with empathy, and she realized that wholehearted people are authentic people. They have the courage, they display the courage to be themselves, to be what they are, and to project themselves with pride and honesty and integrity. The other thing is joyfulness. The very word joyfulness, when we utter it, we can feel a sense of pure happiness, joy. Deep inside us, there is a wellspring of joy. We have to aim to stay connected to that wellspring. Keep drawing from it. It is unending. It is given to us, and we have to keep drawing from it. It is very easy for us to slip into depression, slip into sadness, into all sorts of negativity, grief and fear and anger and pain, because life experiences bring all of that. But along with all of that, we can always choose to remain in an attitude of joyfulness. And that can come from acceptance, from total acceptance of what is, accepting life as it is handed to us, understanding that we have made this choice and working from there. The other thing is compassion towards self and others. Towards self, that is the key word. Compassion towards others is what we always talk about. It is a given. We know that we have to be compassionate. And most of us try very hard to be empathetic, to be compassionate. But compassion towards self, this is often ignored. It is extremely important, as we shall see further down in this session, to have self-kindness and self-compassion. The other thing, as I said already, is total acceptance. Acceptance of all that is. And people who are wholehearted display an amazing ability to live with their vulnerabilities. This is where many of us fumble. We are terrified to show others that we are vulnerable. And therefore, we become terrified of living life fully. Most of the time, we are working towards not living life fully. We are too busy hiding parts of us which we do not want to expose. We want to seem to be always in control. We want to seem to be always perfect. We want to seem to be what it is like to be perfect. But if you are truly wholehearted and if you want to live life wholeheartedly, then you must understand that you have vulnerability and it is okay to have vulnerability. It is all right, perfectly. In all your imperfections, with all your imperfections, you are still that perfect energy signature of pure consciousness, of source consciousness. You are a beautiful spark. And when you align to that source consciousness, then there is nothing that can stop you from living the life that you want, that you choose. Now, we will look at a few guideposts for wholehearted living. These are pointers with each of the topics that we discussed just now. And we will also look at how we can put it into practice. So I would suggest that as I take you through these guideposts, reflect on how you can make these part of your life and how you can start practicing each of these so that by the end of this session, you have a takeaway about how to live life completely, fully, from the heart. The first and foremost is authenticity. This is extremely important because most of the time there is this one sentence, whatever we do, wherever we are, whether it is at work, whether it is at home, there is this one question: what will others think of me? What will people think of me? Now, if you have to embrace your vulnerability, as we just spoke about it, then you have to learn to let go of what people think about you. It is extremely important to have courage to be yourself, to be your most authentic self at all times. And believe me, it is not easy because years of conditioning have made us cultivate inauthenticity and not authenticity. Being authentic means having the courage to say, this is what I am. I do not need to go around being a people pleaser. It is extremely important. So, how can we practice authenticity? Learn. How do you do it? What can I do? One or two things that I can do to cultivate and actually practice. Because, as I said earlier, wholeheartedness is practice. It's acquired. You can acquire the skill. Each of these things, anything that can be cultivated, means you can work on it, practice. It is not beyond you. It is not something that you can't do. Each one of us can put our heart and soul into cultivating each of these qualities, which will make life more wholesome for us. And when we live a wholesome life, it has an immediate effect on those around us. So, wholeheartedness by itself is contagious, it's infectious. So, let us help ourselves and let us help those around us. So, you could probably take a book, take a journal, and write out, when I am at my best, I am, and you can write whatever you want there. When I'm at my best, what do I do? Put in a few lines and see, read it back to yourself and see what is it about you that you can celebrate. Make it a point to celebrate your smallest accomplishments. Be authentic about it and be extremely self aware. Wholeheartedness and the practice of wholeheartedness requires a lot of self awareness. Practice awareness. Practice looking at yourself, your thoughts, and notice. You will immediately realize when you hit the people pleasing mode. You will realize the moment this thought crops up, it pops up in your mind. Oh, what will somebody think of me? What will happen if I just break into a dance because I feel like it? What will somebody think of me? It could be your children, it could be your husband, it could be your parents, it could be your people at your workplace, your colleagues. You're always bothered. Oh, what will somebody think of me? I've done this. Will it please somebody else? It is also important to be yourself and not just go around living a life of people pleasing. And therefore, it is extremely important to cultivate authenticity. It is liberating, it is freeing. Feel joy, feel it wholeheartedly. Let every cell in your body feel joy when you're feeling joyful. And it is not just about joy. Also, embrace the dark emotions, the negative side, the shadow side. Embrace them wholeheartedly. It's all right. It's all right to be sad. It's all right to be upset. It's all right to cry. It's all right to break down or have a meltdown. It's fine. You can pick yourself up. It's fine. It's okay. It's very important, therefore, to be authentic. Authenticity is a quality that can liberate you to an extent you cannot imagine. Just because we do not relate to it, because, as I said, years and years and years of right from childhood conditioning to live an inauthentic life, we have got so used to living in an inauthentic way that we become very uncomfortable when somebody speaks to us about being authentic. So, let us take a moment and let us tell ourselves that we will be authentic from now on. We will keep coming back to it. So, authenticity, in Brené's own words, is the daily practice of letting go who we think we are supposed to be and embracing who we really are. Now, this supposed to be and should be, these are two terms which limit us so severely in our daily life that now this requires practice, as we would practice music or as we would practice anything else that we want to perfect. We have to make this a daily practice to become authentic, because all the time we are living a lie. We are practicing what we are supposed to be, or what we think we are supposed to be, or what others think we are supposed to be. And in the process, we forget ourselves. Therefore, it is extremely important to cultivate authenticity. Now, we keep defining ourselves, isn't it? We feel pressurized to define ourselves. That is what we should stop doing. In the words of Master Eckhart Tolle, give up defining yourself or to others. We keep apologizing for what we are, for what we are not, isn't it? He says, don't be concerned with how others define you either. When they define you, they are limiting themselves, so it's their problem. So don't be overly concerned all the time. This also requires awareness. Understand, you do not have to keep justifying yourself. You do not have to make an apology every time you feel that you have done something that is displeasing to somebody else. If you feel good about it, if you feel you are in the right, then go ahead, be yourself. But being vulnerable is at the heart of being authentic. We choose to be inauthentic. Why? Because we are afraid. We are afraid of being judged. We are afraid of being rejected. We are afraid of being unloved. There's always this what if. Oh, what if somebody rejects me? What if they don't like what I am, or what I have turned into, or what I have choose to become? Even children, even students, when they choose a career, when they choose a path in life, when you're choosing a partner, when you're making certain choices in life, it's always about, it's not about yourself. It's about, oh, what will they say? What will they think? Now, this requires real courage to embrace authenticity, because you are going to expose the most vulnerable part of you and learn to be comfortable with being vulnerable. So, embracing your vulnerabilities and cultivating authenticity is a doorway to liberation from endless suffering. We are in this endless suffering cycle because of our choice to live an inauthentic life. The next thing, and most important, is cultivating self compassion. Right from childhood, we are taught in all well intentioned ways to cultivate compassion for others, and it is indeed necessary. It is very necessary for us to be compassionate towards one and all. But how often are we taught to be self compassionate? How often are we taught to love ourselves for what we are? How often are we taught to be kind to ourselves? Not really. Do we teach this in schools? Not really. It is not really taught with the depth that it has to be taught. You see, self compassion is necessary because before we can be compassionate to others, we need to be compassionate to ourselves. It's only then that we can be truly compassionate in the real meaning of the term. So, cultivating self compassion means letting go of the need to be perfect and stop being harsh and being too critical and judgmental of yourself. And most importantly, to learn to forgive yourself. This is very important. Now, if you observe, every time you are cultivating a quality, you're also letting go of something. So, there are two parts to this whole exercise of learning wholeheartedness. of giving ourselves up to the practice of wholeheartedness. So every time we work at cultivating something, simultaneously, we are also going to learn how to let go of something. So when we are going to work on cultivating self kindness and self compassion, we are going to learn to let go of perfectionism, the need to be perfect all the time. It is not important to be perfect. It is human. Let us connect to the fact that we are human. It is fine to be not your best on some days, to put up work that is not necessarily perfect. No matter what you're going through, you must accept this, that there are many others who are also going through this. And that is the common thread that binds all of humanity. Understand that you're not alone in this journey. It is fine to be imperfect, to not be what you feel is perfection. It's your own definition or what someone else has defined for you. You do not have to fit into any of these frames. It is all right. It is extremely important not to harshly judge yourself. It is extremely important to learn to forgive yourself. So accept your feelings without being too judgmental. It is fine. And how can you cultivate this more and more? Again, we come back to self awareness. At every step, self awareness is very important. So that means mindfulness is very important. Be mindful. Catch yourself. The moment you feel that perfectionist streak has hit you, that tendency to be perfect, the moment that hits you, that moment you feel it popping its head up, catch yourself there and let go. Let go of that driving need to be perfect all the time. It's fine. Now, practicing mindfulness and knowing that all feelings are temporary. None of these feelings that are coming up, you see, they come up like waves and go. They come and they go. And the same for life experiences. You must understand that nothing is absolute. This too shall pass. Everything comes and just goes. You are just a witness. The moment you are in that mode, you will stop being critical and harsh upon yourself. And therefore, tell yourself, as I said earlier on, tell yourself every day, I am enough. At all times, I am enough. And this will be truly helpful to you. You see, we humans have this innate desire to control, to be in control at all times. And the very quality of life is you cannot really control. There will always be things that you cannot hold on to or control or have the way you want it to. And therefore, it is about cultivating the wisdom to know what you can change and to know what you cannot and to accept it. That is the wisdom that you need. So it's very important to cultivate self kindness, to be kind to yourself. Therefore, what you need to do is stop hating yourself for everything you think you are not. Tell yourself every day what I told you right at the beginning of the session, that I am a unique expression of source consciousness. I am a beautiful piece of energy signature of source consciousness on this planet. And the moment you say that to yourself, you will feel your entire being responding to that statement. Start loving yourself for everything that you are. It's important. Self love is extremely important. And believe me, it can lift you out from the depths of whatever you are experiencing right now. So, start practicing self kindness. The third thing, the third pointer or the guidepost that we are going to look at is resilience. We have an innate capacity for resilience. But if we have to cultivate, what does resilience mean? Resilience means the ability to bounce back from adversity, bounce back from whatever has taken you to a low, to come back stronger from whatever life experiences have given you, isn't it? So we have to cultivate this. We have to work on it. And if we have to cultivate this, then we have to let go of something. So, what is it that we have to let go of? A sense of powerlessness. Why should we live our lives feeling powerless? Why should we give away our power to people and things around us? Let us reclaim that power. Let us reclaim it and use it for the good of us and for the good of all around us. So we have to cultivate persistence and willpower. We have to work on it. And this will come with the inner knowing that we have the power, we are given the power to spring back from every challenge that life throws at us. Why are challenges given to us? They are testing grounds and they polish us into something finer and greater. Every test that is given to us is an opportunity. Every bit of pain is a doorway into something more beautiful. So let us look to cultivating resilience. Now, there are a few qualities which people who are resilient have in them. What are these qualities? Resilient people are very resourceful people. They are problem solvers. They do not focus on the problems all the time, they focus on the solutions. And they do not hesitate to seek help whenever they require it. They are not afraid to show their vulnerable selves to the world around them. They take ownership, they take responsibility to manage their feelings. It's extremely important. And they stay connected with others. You see, all the time there must be something playing at the back of our minds. And what is it? The music that should play at the back of our minds is that music of oneness, that we are all one. The spirit of oneness is what is keeping us here. And we can always draw upon that spirit of oneness when we feel that life has thrown something at us which we are not capable of handling. There is so much to draw upon from the spirit of oneness that we have the ability to bounce back and bounce back more powerfully. Now, there are certain things that we do in order to escape. We take escape routes. And this escape route is what cultivates something else. It cultivates powerlessness. And we work hard at cultivating powerlessness. Whereas we should be working towards cultivating resilience. We work very hard at cultivating the sense of powerlessness. So, what do? We try escape routes. And what kind of escape routes do we try? We try to go into, some people go into watching hours of TV, some of us go into alcohol, some of us go into smoking, some of us go into other addictive habits. That is essentially trying to run away and not facing what we are supposed to face. So we have this avoidance mechanism and we work very hard to build this avoidance mechanism over the years. So it becomes a habit, an unconscious habit. But this habit completely takes away the spirit of resilience because it makes us powerless. The moment we give ourselves to a habit which becomes an escape mechanism, then we are slaves of that habit. And we cannot even think of resilience. We cannot think of cultivating the indomitable will that is required to come back, spring back to life, and face life. So, the moment you feel that you are in that trap, what can you do? What is the practice that can help you to come out of this trap? Again, I will come back to the same word, awareness. Ask yourself, what am I slipping into? What am I doing when I'm not comfortable with the situation that I'm thrown into or the situation that I'm facing right now? Am I having the courage? Am I choosing to have the courage or am I choosing a comfort zone? And my comfort zone is the escape mechanism. So, what am I doing? These are called numbing techniques. You want to numb yourself and feel that, all right, I'm in a comfort zone. I'm not going to look the other way. so that I can try to escape from the problem. So, is the problem going to go away? It is not going to go away. So, I make half hearted attempts at living. I make half hearted attempts at trying to solve the problem, but I'm not being resourceful. I'm trying to run away. So, what am I doing? Work on it. Ask yourself, have I picked up some strategies which I regularly go to as my comfort cushion? Am I going binging? Is it food, which is my comfort zone? Is it television? Is it something else? Is it alcohol? What is it? I want to drown myself in something because I do not want to face what I'm supposed to face with strength and courage. So the choice is always yours. Are you equipped to handle challenges? Numbing yourself will not equip you. Resilience comes when you equip yourself with resourcefulness, with courage, and with persistence and willpower. And it is extremely important to cultivate resilience because you will spring back stronger, more harmonious every time a challenge is thrown at you. Because the testing ground is what refines you, polishes you, and makes you somebody much greater than what you really think you are. Therefore, let us work towards cultivating resilience and letting go of this feeling, sinking feeling of powerlessness. We are powerful beings. We are joy beings. We have innate strength. Let us stay connected to that always. The next is cultivating joy and gratitude. These two words themselves have so much beautiful energy in them that the moment you even say them, you are able to connect to an endless stream of bliss. Being grateful and joyful seems very easy when we talk about it, but it is something that you have to practice. You have to put your heart into it. Be grateful for what you have, and you will get more of it. If you just pause here and reflect, most of us have this habit of getting into complaint mode. We're always complaining about what we don't have. If I had this, I'd be happier. If I had that, I'd be happier. If the people around me were like this, I would be happier. If somebody understood me better, I would be happier. If I had more of, some material things, if I had a bigger car maybe or a house, I would be happier. If I had a better salary, I would be happier. And in this process of a long list of complaint making, we sometimes forget. We know, we have that inner knowing that we should practice, we should have an attitude of gratitude. Actually, the attitude of gratitude is the very basis, the foundation of blissful living, what we are here for. Now, being grateful and joyful, easy as it may seem, is not easy for the very reasons that I mentioned right now. Again, we have conditioned ourselves and put ourselves into boundaries. We cannot look beyond those boundaries. We feel fenced in, we feel trapped, and we are looking somewhere else. We are looking at the other side and saying, okay, the grass is greener there. I'm not so very happy. My grass is brown. And we are looking at lists of lack. All the time, we are making lack lists. And most of the day, if you're just looking at a 24-hour day, if you start observing yourself and your thoughts, you will see and you will be amazed to see how many of us have lack thoughts. And we start operating from that lack scenario. So, when we are looking to cultivate joy and gratitude, what are we going to let go of? We are going to let go of lack and scarcity by opening our heart to gratitude. Gratitude is a true magnet. The more grateful you are for what you have, the more you will receive things to be grateful for. It is extremely important to have this deeply, deeply embedded in us. There are a zillion things you can be thankful for. From nothing is too silly to be thankful for. Wake up in the morning and just say thank you and feel that gratitude. Open your eyes. I'm thankful to be alive today. You do not even have to state reasons. Just open your eyes to thank you and feel how it molds your day. You can practice it and you can feel it and you can journal it. And if you do this for a week, you will see the amazing changes that can come about. Truly transformational, the practice of gratitude. We have spoken so much about it. So many masters have spoken so much about it. Gratitude takes you, it's a direct doorway to blissful living. So, what can I do? How can I bring joy and gratitude? What can we practice? What can we do? You see, we have a lot of limiting beliefs right from childhood. Just like, we hear about, oh, money does not grow on trees. It's a limiting belief. So, also, we are told many things about experiencing joy. I have heard this very often in my life. We are even scared to, truly laugh, to truly experience joy, because there are people who tell us, it could be family members or it could be, they don't do it deliberately. They don't do it because it's maybe they're also conditioned that way. Whole of humanity is conditioned to live in fear. Oh, you've laughed a lot today. At the end of the day, you're going to cry. You'll get some reason to cry. And so you start telling yourself, oh, I can't have too much of a good thing. It'll definitely bring me some sorrow at the end of it all. Right? So what is happening is deep inside you, you're telling yourself, it's a huge boundary, it's a huge limiting belief. You tell yourself, I am not going to let myself feel this joy completely because this is not going to last forever. Definitely something is going to come up and take this away from me. And therefore, it's very half heartedly that you even enjoy a moment of joy. I want this to sink in. Take a moment and allow this to truly sink in. We half heartedly experience even moments of true joy because of some inbuilt fear mechanism that we have, that this moment is going to be taken away from us. But that is true. There is nothing that is permanent. There is joy, there is sorrow, but why should we limit that? Why should we allow that to limit us from enjoying that moment in all its purity and beauty? Therefore, I will repeat myself. We limit ourselves so strongly with this belief that I am not going to let myself feel this joy completely, wholeheartedly, because it is not going to last forever. Can you relate to this? Can you relate to this feeling? It has been true for me. I can relate to it. We're almost afraid to let ourselves go and feel joy because we feel, oh, the next moment might bring something terrible. So there is this foreboding. It's ominous. It's as if we have a premonition that if I'm going to enjoy this moment completely, fully, the next moment is going to bring me something terrible. And then we will end up manifesting it. That is not the way to be. Allow thankfulness to fill your heart. Let thankfulness define your very being, your personality. Let gratitude be a synonym for your whole personality. Be a thankful and grateful person for every little thing that you think of. Be thankful for the sky above you, for the wind that you can feel. Be thankful for the sun. Be thankful for the night, the sky, the moon, the stars. Be thankful for the little flower that you can see, the potted plant that you have at home, the people around you. Be thankful. Be thankful for every experience, good or bad, because every experience comes to you as a teacher, and every experience leaves you with something. It is up to you to take that lesson and to forge yourself into something better. Let go of this lack and see what opens up. It's amazing. You will open yourself to endless possibility the moment you let go of lack and scarcity. Do not operate from that platform. Open up your heart to gratitude. So what can you do? Start journaling. Open up a book. I'm sure many of you may be doing this already. If you are, then it's wonderful. You may be reaping the benefits too. Start. Start with five simple. Start your day. Wake up a few minutes earlier if you have to and say, I am going to start writing down three things or five things for which I am grateful. And the more you write, the more you see, you will find things to be grateful for. Initially, you might experience a block. You'll say, oh, I can't find things to be grateful for because you know you're operating from complaint mode. But the moment you open up, the moment you choose to find things to be grateful for, you will see that there is an unlimited supply of things to be truly grateful for. So start maintaining a gratitude journal. Notice, again, self awareness. The moment you hit scarcity mode, lack mode, turn it into an opportunity. The moment you start thinking of what I don't have, turn it into an opportunity to actually express gratitude for having that into your life, right? I don't have loving people around me, but I have people around me. I can love them. Look at it. Take up different perspectives. Do not wear just one shade of glasses and decide I'm going to look at life just this way. Look at life from different angles and see how beautiful the entire spectrum is. Decide, make a choice to look at beauty for all of life is so unique. It has so many gifts to give you. Start looking at those gifts that have been supplied to you by Source, and you will find more and more gifts to be grateful for. So, the practice of gratitude and joy is extremely important in wholehearted living. Now we come to cultivating intuition. This is very beautiful. For me, a personal favorite. Many of us may ask, can we really cultivate intuition? Isn't it something that some people are born with and some people just don't have? Not really. We can truly work at cultivating because we are all having the same being within us. We are all one. That spirit within us is all the same. We are just different manifestations. The inner knowing, the inner guidance that is available to tap is all the same for all of us. Now, if we have to cultivate intuition, what is it that we have to let go of? As I said, when we are working to cultivate something, we are going to let go of something. So, when we are looking at cultivating intuition, we are going to let go of the need for certainty. As I said earlier, we humans have this tremendous need to hang on to certainty because then we feel that we have a sense of control. So we want to feel as if we are controlling everything. We feel happy, we feel safe. Otherwise, there is a fear of the unknown. There is fear of what life is going to give us. So all the time, we have this terrific need to be in control, to cling, to have this idea that I control what happens in my life. I will control myself. I control others. I control the flow of life, and I'll feel very good about it. Not really. Not really. So let us let go of the need for certainty. There is this very famous story in the Ramayana about how Ravana, because he was so powerful and because he was a great devotee of Lord Shiva, and he had been granted so many boons. He was a great devotee. So he decided that he could control everything. And when his wife was about to deliver his son, Meghnath or Indrajit, he said, I am going to stop the planets, you know, I am going to ensure that the planets would be positioned in certain positions which would give my son the best possible horoscope. If we were to apply this analogy here, this is also what we like to try to do. We want to control everything. Letting go of the need for this certainty may be a little uncomfortable for us. But the moment you cultivate trust in the universe and align yourself to the flow of life and rest in faith by wholeheartedly surrendering yourself to this beautiful flow of life, you will see that life takes on a completely different turn. And it is then that you will be able to wholeheartedly enjoy what life has to offer. You can cultivate intuition. It's not very difficult, but you have to practice it with sincerity, and you will see that over a period of time you become more intuitive. You work with faith and trust, and it is a very beautiful feeling. For this, you need to still yourself. You need to practice stillness, because intuition and faith are very powerful tools, because uncertainty is a factor in life which you cannot do away with. How much ever you want to control yourself, control everything around you, it cannot happen. There will always be something that is beyond your control. That is the very beauty of life. And therefore, if you want to navigate this uncertainty, if you want to navigate this unknown happily, then you need intuition, you need faith, and you need trust. These are very powerful tools. And therefore, you have to learn, practice listening to your gut, listening to that inner voice. How do you do it? You have to start fostering the inner connection. The inner voice is always available to you. The guidance is always available to you. We block ourselves. We block ourselves. We become creatures of logic. We want explanations, logical for everything. And in the process, the very beautiful side of us, which is ever present to tap into, we tend to ignore it. So, another thing that you can do to cultivate this is keep some time aside from this constant bombardment, especially in today's scenario. We are bombarded by media, by all sorts of things. We are hooked to our systems, the telephone, the events that are happening around us. We do not have enough me time. We do not have enough silence to listen to that inner voice. You need to listen, isn't it? How can you listen if you are continuously bombarded with so much? There is information overload. And today we are hooked, we are online all the time, we are hooked to something or the other. So, just as you practice gratitude, you have a journal, you set aside some time every day, set aside a few minutes of your time to be in stillness, to be in silence, and slowly you will see that you are able to become a more intuitive person, and you start operating from faith and trust. Make time for it. That is intuition in practice. It is extremely beautiful to be an intuitive being. We all are naturally intuitive beings. The other thing that takes us a step closer to wholeheartedness is the cultivation of creativity. All of life is naturally creative, isn't it? We call the source creator. We are co creators. We create our own destiny. We are all creators. Now, living life, this conditioned life, as I would like to call it, we have put a big shutter on the creative aspect of ourselves, because we have taught ourselves with great difficulty, we have taught ourselves to set aside all that is natural, creative, all that is springing up from within, to live a life, a make believe life, to please somebody else, to please what others want from us, isn't it? And we have let go completely of that side. We've forgotten what it is to be natural, spontaneous, creative. Each one of us is uniquely creative. So let us now work towards recapturing that creativity, bringing out once again. Now, if I have to cultivate creativity, what do I need to let go? I need to let go of comparison. This is that one dangerous thing which we bring up all the time in our lives, right from childhood, right from school days. There is comparison, comparison, and more comparison. Till all that we know of is to compare ourselves for every little thing to something else. In the process, we lose ourselves. So let us let go of the need for comparison. Because when we do that, we create barriers which hold us back completely from expressing creativity. Creativity is inbuilt, it's innate in us. But what is the biggest stumbling block? Again, what if somebody says something? How will I be judged? Look at little children. There is so much we can learn from them, how spontaneous they are. If you give a child some clay and do not give him any rules and regulations, he will come up with something. And you can see that joy on his face. It may not be the most perfect thing that he creates, but the creativity will express itself in the most beautiful way. And he will not bother about what others are thinking about it. But if you were handed the same piece of clay, you would not even be able to go ahead. You would first look at the people around you. You would ask yourself, oh, will I be able to create something which as good as they are creating? And then finally you will end up saying, oh, I may not be very comfortable. I'm not very, and you will give a lot of excuses. I don't think I'm very good at this. I don't think I'm going to be able to make something out of this. Somebody else is more creative than me. And we bring the shutter, pull the shutter down, and all that has been gifted to us. So we become our own stumbling blocks, self sabotage. And creativity, when we unleash creativity, that is when we are living our true self. So be yourself. Being yourself is what wholeheartedness is all about. Be yourself to the best of your ability. Work on creativity. What is it that you like to do? What is it that you want to do? What is it that you enjoy doing? Ask yourself and start working on it. Practice creativity. Take up a class. Have you painted in your childhood and then totally given it up because of your job or because of demands of your family? I know of many people who maybe sing well, they paint well, they dance well, but somewhere they've put a lid on all that because they feel, oh, now I'm grown up, I have a family to take care of, I have work, I'm a working professional. I'm not going to look good doing all this. Not really. Take up that canvas, put your brush to it, unleash what is inside you. Start doing it. Share with others what you love to do. Every one of us is given a unique gift. We are all born with certain unique gifts. So, what is it that stops us? It is this fear of rejection, fear of disappointing somebody, fear of somebody disliking what we have created. All of this fear of judgment, fear of criticism. Let not these fears become stumbling blocks. The moment you are in creative mode, you are in bliss mode. Therefore, bring awareness when you fall into the comparison trap. Life is what we have made it to be comparison, shame. This is what Brené Brown discovered in her years of research. And then vulnerability. These are the areas that she really looked into hard. She took a hard look, looked at the people, researched people, their lives, and found that we are so vulnerable that we are scared. We are scared to be what we truly are. And in the process, we just don't live. We only think we are living. We just exist. There is a difference between living life with spontaneity and with just existing. So make your choice now. Do you want to live or do you want to just exist? So ask yourself, what is it that I value? What is it that I want to do, want to create? Nothing is too silly. Nothing is. So don't let these voices inside you tell you that, oh, this is very silly. I'm going to look silly doing this. No one's going to appreciate me. Doesn't matter. Do what you love the most. Bring everything out and get going. Start. Take that first step. It is very important. So, creativity is one step ahead in our goal of wholehearted living. The next thing, very, very important in today's times, the balance, cultivating balance. Work, play, rest. This is so important that we cannot talk enough about it. You see, we've all become, we all talk so much about our goals. We are setting goals all the time. We are trying to work hard, work smart, and we want to reach somewhere. We have deadlines to meet, and we want to project ourselves as great achievers. What do we do in the process? We get into this mindless rat race. And when we are in this rat race, what do? We cultivate everything other than balance. We are proud. We call ourselves workaholics. We're very proud about it. Oh, I am a workaholic. I have no time. You see, how do we define achievers? And the sad thing is, we even tell our students, our children this. If you are an achiever, you shouldn't take offs. You shouldn't take vacations. You shouldn't take a break. You should work. You have to reach somewhere. You have to reach that goal. So you see children, they just drop everything, and I like to call it vacant moments. I enjoy my vacant moments where nothing happens. Your pure rest. Vacant moments are very important in life, much more important than we think they are, because they are refreshing, they relax us, and they bring us back to balance. So let us learn to balance work and rest. You see, when we like to project ourselves as go-getters. Oh, I'm a go-getter. He's a go-getter. So when somebody is tired, it becomes a status symbol. He's working so hard that he's tired. He's dead tired at the end of the day. So we have equated certain things. Productivity. What is productivity? If I'm very productive, if I'm working all the time, then my self-esteem rises. If I'm resting, if I'm and people have even this idea of even having vacations which are full of work, and we feel proud about it. We make announcements about it. So let us learn to separate this idea of productivity defining your sense of self-worth or self-esteem. Let us learn to enjoy resting periods without feeling guilty about it. So devote yourself to yourself. That last line is my favorite. Devote yourself to yourself. What is play? How do we define play? Ask a child. Play is time spent without purpose. You see, the very word purpose, we have overworked it. Oh, it's all about purpose, finding purpose, finding purpose. How about being without purpose? Work is purpose. Play is time spent without purpose. As I said, vacant time. And when you play, you see, if you have a child, the child has gone out to play. You tell the child, come back by 5 o'clock, all right? And the child is so lost, he or she loses sense of time. You don't want the playtime to end. So you have to bring them back. You have to scold them. You have to give them deadlines and tell them, stop playing now. It's time to work, time to study. This is what we do, isn't it? So we are conditioned. We condition those younger to us. We do this all the time. Of course, it is important to set boundaries and to do your work. It is important. But we are carrying it a bit too far in this whole rat race for achievement. So let us learn to take those breaks. In play, there is something else which is very important, and that is we are not self conscious when we are at play. Most of the other times, we are hyper self conscious. But when we are at play, we are not. We lose track of time. This is the same thing that happens when we are doing something that we love. Time doesn't matter anymore, it doesn't exist anymore. We go into another dimension, another zone altogether because we are doing what we love and we are loving what we do. So let us learn to balance and let us learn to let go of exhaustion. As we saw in one of the first slides, what is the antidote to exhaustion? It is not rest, it is wholeheartedness. That is the antidote to exhaustion. So, it is important to cultivate the right balance between work, play, and rest. The next thing that we need to do is to cultivate calm and stillness. This cannot be emphasized enough. It is extremely important to bring in silence, a few moments of silence and stillness to the day. Practice calmness consciously because you see, we have become proud of anxiety. We take pride in living a very anxious and worry filled life. It defines us now. We are on tenterhooks all the time. We are tightly wound and we have forgotten how to unwind. And therefore, we must learn to cultivate this. To cultivate this, we have to learn to let go of the worry habit. We are constantly juggling past, future, and in the process, completely letting go of living in the present moment, which is all that is. So, we have to learn to harness the power of silence and stillness. So, start making a practice, whichever way you want to practice. It is entirely up to you. But even 5 minutes a day gives you endless benefits. Endless benefits. Just as we learned that, you see, why do we do this? Why has calm and stillness come after balancing work and play and rest? Because all of us in this rat race, we look upon play and calmness and rest as some kind of a luxury. Oh, I don't have the luxury to take a break. You see, I'm trying to achieve my goals. I have a deadline to meet. I don't have. But if you look at children, what are they doing? They truly experience every moment. See a child laughing. Look at your own laughter. The child laughs wholeheartedly with its entire being. A child laughs. You hold back. You laugh half heartedly. So observe, be aware. It's extremely important. So practice calm and stillness. Any practice which suits you. It could be a few moments of sitting quietly, focusing on your breathing. It could be a time of introspection and reflection, which is extremely important. Because when you introspect, when you reflect and contemplate, that is when your inner knowing opens itself up to you. You have to give time for that. If you're so busy running around, then your very busyness will become your undoing. Your busyness will become your undoing. Do not let that happen. So set aside, make a point to practice and cultivate calm and stillness. It's very, very important to be still for a few moments in a day. And you will start reaping the benefits very, very soon. much sooner than you would like to imagine. There are immense gifts within you. Allow those gifts to be opened up to you. You can do that only when you practice being calm and being still. The next is to cultivate meaningful work. This is not just about your livelihood or about earning your bread and butter. Cultivating meaningful work is adding meaning and purpose to your work, whatever it may be. Do it with dignity, take pride, give it your best shot. All of us have unique gifts. I'm saying this maybe for the 10th time in this session. Each one of us is a precious package. But we tend to overlook that preciousness. We cover that preciousness with a lot of unwanted stuff, so much so that we forget about that preciousness. And therefore, go back, look into yourself, make that journey inward. Let go of all that self doubt and hesitation to start doing what you really want to do. Don't have a series of shoulds. Oh, I should do this to earn money. I should do this to earn respect in society. I'm supposed to do this if I should have some kind of a position or respect from society or respect from family. This is what I should be doing. This is what I'm supposed to do. Please give it all up and see what life has in store for you. Do not be afraid to experiment. Do not be hesitant. Let go of self doubt. Self doubt can really pull you down. Know that you are gifted. Connect to that inner knowing. And whatever it is that you have chosen, whatever it is that you are doing, do it to the best of your ability. Give yourself heart and soul and spirit to that work, and that work will take on a completely different meaning altogether. When you choose to work that way, it becomes meaningful work, value addition. Drop all that should be, should do, supposed to do. Drop it all. Change your sentences, change the language that you speak to yourself. Say, I want to do this. Let that be your mantra. Not, I should be doing this. I want to do this. I want to create this. I want to add more meaning to my life. I want to be happy doing this. This should be your mantra. Because the moment you start doing that, the moment you change that language, it will align you. It will make you more alive and it will align you to life as a whole. And then you will truly get aligned to your soul's purpose. So, therefore, it is very important to cultivate meaningful work. The next is something we all love, but most of us may not do it: cultivating laughter, song, and dance. Now, LSD, you can call it. Why is it that many of us stop ourselves from letting go and just live in that moment, laugh wholeheartedly, sing, dance, do what we love to do, lose ourselves? Why is it that we create those barriers, those blocks? Again, it's conditioning, fear, anxiety, many experiences that have brought pain, that have brought rejection. So once bitten, twice shy. No, I do not want to venture there anymore. And the other thing is the need to always look very calm, composed, and being in control. It's as if, again, this is related to this achiever thing that we have created. Oh, somebody who's a great achiever, somebody who's attained a certain status or a certain position in life, is not somebody who will do something trivial like laughing and singing and dancing. All that is very trivial, silly, immature. These are the epithets that we give. So you want to project yourself as someone who's always very serious. You want to project yourself as someone who's always very calm, always in control of things. That may not be true. That's a mask. And you get so used to living with this mask that you forget what it is to live spontaneously. So, in order to cultivate laughter, song, and dance in your life, what is it that you need to take away, let go of? The need to be always in control. Notice that this need to be in control keeps coming up, keeps cropping up. You need to let go of the need to be always very serious. You see, we are so intensely conditioned to living our mindless rat race that laughter, singing, dancing, it all seems to be luxuries. I can't afford to waste my time in laughing, singing, and dancing. I have known parents of children who are preparing for a career, stopping those children from even, nothing is a waste of time. I have known parents who are so intensely involved in building their children's careers, all well intentioned, with due respect to parents. They are so intensely involved that they are tracking every moment of the child. Oh, you have 24 hours in a day. You have to spend 16 hours studying. Those 16 hours have to be tracked. Every minute has to be tracked, whether you are giving your best so that you can reach that goal that you have set for yourself. And in the process, what is happening? Something terrible is happening. You are doing it with a lot of you are well meaning. You're doing it for the so called well being of your child. But in the process, you're shutting out many areas which are so important for the child to feel whole and for true well being. You see, when we really reflect and pause upon these pointers, we see how extremely ignorant we are of what true wholeheartedness means and what we have created for ourselves. We have created an endless loop of suffering and agony and distress and pain and worry for ourselves. And at any point of time, we can choose to break this shackle. That's the beauty. We can choose to break the shackle by cultivating all of this in our lives. But it requires effort, it requires practice. You must choose to do it. Laughter, song, dance connects us instantly to spirit, connects us emotionally, connects us spiritually. And laughter, song, and dance are very important for one thing that we spoke of cultivating earlier, and that is resilience. You see, it will be very easy for us to drown in an abysmal pit. It's a bottomless pit, the pit of despair. So, with what can we pull ourselves up? With spontaneity, connecting with others, connectedness, understanding connectedness, reaching out, singing together, laughing wholeheartedly, breaking into a dance, allowing that inner child to come up and to surface. We have forgotten that inner child completely. We have shut it away somewhere deep inside and do not even want to turn and look at it. The moment we allow this inner child to blossom and to come out and to play itself out in our being, you will see that life takes on new meaning altogether. What is it that is holding us back? Again, it is always the desire to seem in control, to seem as if we are perfect, so called perfect. That is what keeps us back. The desire to be in control. So, once in a while, let go. Simply laugh. We know about people who have healed themselves by just laughing, by watching comedy shows, by watching movies which make them laugh, healed themselves with music, healed themselves with dance. So why not? This is a beautiful path to healing. It opens up doorways into things that we never knew could exist for us. Therefore, it is extremely important to cultivate this, to work towards this, because for many of us, it is not easy. It is easier said than done. Many of us, you see, when we are in a group, some of them will just break into a dance, and many of us will have to be pulled, and we will be very. I myself uh, was like that. It's not very easy for us to just open up. The moment, we're looking all around, there is fear holding us back. There is some sort of diffidence, some apprehension holding us back. The subconscious says, if I let go and just do something spontaneously, then I will project myself as silly, as immature. I will project myself as childish. But that is exactly what you are. You have that child in you. Let that child break free anytime. It is fine. You do not have to have this image, this mask on you all the time. So, work on cultivating laughter, song, and dance. Use every opportunity that comes. Be aware, once again, awareness. Be aware when you get into that trap of what will people think of me. The moment you are in that trap, pinch yourself and say, it's okay. I am what I am. It's important. The moment you come there, you have come to your most authentic self. That is very important. And remember and keep telling yourself that fitting in, that is what we are trying to do all the time. We want to fit in. We want to be part of something that may not define us at all, but society has created it and we want to fit and we want to belong. So we make ourselves out to be what we really are not. And then we try to feel comfortable with trying to fit in. So remind yourself and catch yourself the moment you see that you're going to fall into that trap of fitting in. Now, I will take you to this very beautiful uh, expression from Eckhart Tolle once again, one that I personally keep looking into. That understand that what we perceive or think or feel is not ultimately who we are. Always stay aligned to who you are. You are pure joy. You are being, that which cannot be defined by limited words. You are much, much more than what you think you are. You are joy in motion. You are bliss. Stay aligned to that. When you align yourself to the light of pure consciousness, the true being, when you can sense the I am that I am in every moment, when you're mindful, when you live in the moment, you know that all that is happening around you is not of absolute importance, it's only relative. Everything just comes up and passes, comes up and passes. So then, why all this heaviness and seriousness about life? Why make life such a serious issue? So, the moment you choose to stay aligned to that being which you truly are, all that heaviness and seriousness will just drop away. And all that will be left is the true you. That is what you need to connect to. So, look at this. The greatest challenge in life is discovering who you are. And we go through an entire lifetime thinking that what we think and perceive and feel and make ourselves out to be is what we really are. So, this is a journey. Wholeheartedness is a journey. It is not the destination, it's a journey, and you have to enjoy every moment of this journey as you cultivate each of these practices. And I will read it again. The greatest challenge in life is discovering who you are, and the second greatest is being happy with what you find. Let this sink in, friends. One is to discover who you are, and the second is being happy with what you find. Once you get here, then you have truly understood wholeheartedness. It is extremely important for us to dedicate ourselves to this journey because the takeaways are immense. That is when we truly start living and not just existing. I will now take you through a small meditation where we will work upon opening up to the heart center, and we will make a commitment to ourselves to live wholeheartedly, understand wholeheartedness for what it truly is. Make yourselves comfortable. Sit in a comfortable position and gently close your eyes. Is the center where love and spirit are united. It is our heart that responds. It feels. It feels love, compassion, trust. It feels pain. It feels sadness. Within the heart is a subtle center. That is the center of spirit. Spirit lies beneath the layers and layers of sensation. And to experience true being and spirit, you must go deep into the heart, connect, stay with it till everything that is obscuring true spirit is totally cleansed, and you are provided with the vision of shining spirit. Just for this moment, let go of all the chaos that is happening in your mind. Let go of your thoughts. With each in breath and out breath, allow yourself to focus your attention very gently on your heart center. As your breathing becomes uniform, as your breathing becomes gentle and comfortable, bring your attention to the heart center, becoming aware of your heart as a space. The heart center is a point of awareness where feelings make an entry. In its very essence, the heart center is pure emptiness. The heart center is pervaded by pure peace. You can imagine a subtle light pervading your whole heart center. The light might appear as white or gold or pink or blue. Let it come naturally to you. Do not strain. Do not put in any effort. Simply allow each breath to take you to the heart center. Rest there. Rest your attention easily and effortlessly on your heart center, breathing gently all the time. Sense your breath flowing into your heart. Allow any visuals to come naturally. Feel, sense your breath flowing gently into your heart space. Let your breath go in and out. And as you breathe, connect to your heart. Communicate with your heart. Ask your heart what it needs to say, what it wants to convey. Do this with the intention that you want your heart to express itself wholly. For the next few moments, as you continue to breathe gently with your attention focused on the heart center, simply listen. Your heart will begin to release emotions, memories, fears, or dreams that have been long stored inside. And as your heart speaks, you will find yourself paying attention. As you do this, you may have a flash of some strong emotion that comes up. It may be a positive emotion, it may be a negative one, or it may just be a memory. Observe. Observe what comes up. As the heart brings up something, your breathing may change. Your whole being may respond. You may feel tears in your eyes. Allow the experience. Keeping your attention on your heart center. Allow your heart to communicate to you. Have the inner knowing that whether your heart speaks to you in joy or in pleasure or in sadness or in fear or in pain, the message that it is giving is exactly what you need now. Whatever comes up, allow it to come up and then let it go easily and comfortably. You are now in the process of learning to be with your heart, to understand its spiritual meaning of being in the heart space. Allow repressed stuff to come up and be released. Listen to your heart without judgment. Simply be. Be with your heart. As you practice this, spending a few moments connecting to your heart center, you will begin to get small glimpses of your heart as it really is. Let this small, simple meditation be the beginning of your journey to wholehearted living. Wholehearted living means living fully, loving fully, and being true to yourself. As we come to the end of this session today, dear friends, I want to thank you all for giving me your time, your valuable time, to share this beautiful topic. Let us make this choice here and now to walk into the new year with a commitment to live wholeheartedly. I thank you all once again. I thank Masters Dr. Newton and Dr. Lakshmi, the entire QLU Sangha, for this beautiful space where we connect time and again to talk of life, of experiences, to share, to learn, and with every session we grow, we become something better, something greater. Thank you, dear friends. I have enjoyed myself thoroughly, and I hope you did too. So, till we meet again, thank you. And I wish you all a very, very happy new year, which is coming a few days from now. Let us step into the new year with a spring in our steps, with joy in our hearts. Let us live life wholeheartedly. Thank you, dear friends.